I'm Herman Faust, and this is Enjoy It While It Lasts. In today's Newsish, we talk about volcanoes erupting in a chain reaction around the globe. Japan is using solar energy tech to heat public places and try to improve life for the homeless. We look at how Shein and Temu try to skirt tariffs and the US government's response. Gambling laws are being looked at in different states again, including New York. And Texas cares a lot about where you pee. Tricia keeps me updated on Cardi B, and we applaud Lily Allen's business acumen and her pettiness. NASA wants to clean up space junk, and apparently we can talk to each other while dreaming now. I have a few wild animal stories from around the DF Dub, and Tricia gives us a yay boo in Waco. Boo, ICE is bringing fear to the community. Yay, Wienerschnitzel is open in Waco. If you're not already, be sure to subscribe, and you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook at SoulRack Productions if you want to stay up to date on all of my newest episode releases, that is. For now, it's time for the Newsish. Enjoy.
Fucking cold in the morning when I wake up, like, and my floor is tile in the bedrooms, and then we have the wood in the main areas, which we're trying to fix. But for right now, I'm like waking up and my feet are hitting the floor, and I'm like, son of a bitch, like every morning, because I have a really bad habit of kicking my socks off in the middle of the night. So then when I gotta get up and pee, it's barefoot on that fucking tile, and I'm like sending a shiver up my body.
Every time you get up, you wake up way more than you want to wake up because of that. I wake
up so much more. I'm like, I'm never going back to sleep now. And I'm anemic, so I start fucking weirdly shaking like a chihuahua and shit when I get up in the morning. I'm like, this is ridiculous. But yeah, those carpet little tiles, I'm thinking about getting them. You'll see them next time you come, probably. I'll have the whole hallway lined with that shit.
The other day, I was going into a store, into a Specs, a liquor store, right?
Yeah.
And as I'm walking in, this other guy's walking out. And it's one of those things where, we're directly in front of each other. So I try to pivot a little bit to the side. Right. He also happens to go to the same side. I was going to my right. He was going to his left, so we both Now,
go to the right.
Normally it's one of those things where you look at each other, maybe give a chuckle or whatever, you smile at each other. But he hit me with something that I've never been hit with before. He like when we both went the same way.
He you or some shit?
No, he goes, like a big ass laugh, and then he just like took out like just
that
directly
man thought about that interaction the entire way home, and he wanted to make sure that you would too.
But I couldn't, like, he gave me a genuine smile, I'll tell you that. Like
he's halfway there,
and he's his face,
he was just going for round two.
He's a chubbier dude. He had a beard too. I told Brent about it. He's like, you just met Santa. Like Santa
just fucking
he hit me with that heavy like
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
But I'm Herman Faust.
This is Tricia.
And we're back with the weekly Newsish. We've been off for a couple of weeks, but today we return. So what you got for us to start us off?
So we're going to start on some crazy stuff that I'm sure at least 80% of the U.S. hasn't even heard about. And it's these volcanoes going off all around us.
When you mentioned it to me, I had no idea what you're talking about.
Right. So this thing started back in August in Kamchatka, if anybody knows where that is. And that's usually what we hear about, right? We hear about that one rogue volcano going off. Mm-hmm. And that was in August, and that's kind of like the first one I heard about. And I kind of left it alone because I have no idea what the fuck that is, right? Sure. So the next
one... Sounds like you made up the name to me.
But. Yeah, right? But real place. And this volcano didn't just go off once. This volcano went off once and apparently started this chain reaction underneath us in these fault lines that have progressed and now moved along the entire world. So the next one that I started looking at when I heard about it last night, about the one in, help me Jesus, in Mexico going off last week. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes because there's so many different places. So this thing went off in Kamchatka. Then there was one in Indonesia that went off. The one in Indonesia set off an earthquake that led to another volcano going off in Russia.
Okay.
That one was in September, I believe. And the one in Kamchatka is still going off. It's an ongoing eruption. And it's a slow leak at this point, so it's not like blasting and going crazy. Sure. But this thing's still going. It's still letting off steam. And you're thinking that this steam would at least calm some shit down, right? You release some of that pressure. No. So the shake from that one, and we just had one go off last month in Ethiopia. It's still going off. It's caused so much ash in that area that they're having temperature drops of up to 20 degrees.
Oh, wow.
We're blocking sunlight now in Ethiopia. And so this one was a very, very dormant volcano for a long time. So when it went off, there was so much ash that had just been sitting, chilling in there, that hadn't been irrigated, that hadn't been looked at or worked on or anything else. Like the volcanoes in the U.S. and in Europe, and sometimes the one in Russia that didn't go off, these are volcanoes that are constantly studied. We're constantly looking at these things. We're waiting on these things to go off, like literally watching a pot try to boil water.
Yeah.
And the ones that we forgot about in the kitchen are going off. It's completely insane. The one in Mexico just went off 2 days ago. The one in Hawaii went off on the 25th. I think I did hear about that one, but didn't make the connection because the one that went off in Hawaii was an eruption, but it wasn't like this catastrophic event.
Yeah.
It was this volcano went off. It's still going off. It's a slow leak type of thing. But now it's getting to the point where we have, at least right now, as I'm talking to you, 5 different volcanoes going off right now at the same time. And
it's believed to be like a chain reaction. It's believed to be related.
They're saying that now they're thinking they're connected because of this, and you can look up the map of it, but the way that the events occurred and the timeline that the events occurred, it's like this big, it looks like a huge infinity sign kind of drawn up on the world map. And they're saying that the reason they think that they're connected, but they can't prove it yet, is because the 2 volcanoes that would potentially connect them are underwater. And so they don't know the timeline of when those went off, but they do know that one of them is going off now that they've gone down there and actually looked.
Okay.
So they got volcanoes going off everywhere right now. Who knows what that means for the next couple of years, or if it's going to affect our weather patterns or things like Ethiopia having this like increase or this decrease in temperature,
Have you seen anything on that, like on the Ethiopian one? Like, is that predicted to last? The fact that the temperature, like, the
thing is that they thought the one in Kamchatka was done, and they thought the one in Indonesia was done, and it's just a slow leak thing. Usually, the one with Ethiopia, they're thinking that one's going to be a blast off one time, let's chill out type of thing, because it wasn't so mild that it kind of like blew the whole off of the thing, and let out the pressure that it needed to let out.
So then is the fact that it's having the impact on the temperature today, though,
the ash part's done.
That should be.
That was the one time.
It was like a one-time event for that. Okay.
That was just that there was so much ash at one time, and it's happening now.
And now the second part of that, my question is: do they have any? Any predictions on like? Now that all these are setting each other off, like what is the possibilities for the next step?
Right now, we're just trying to see if they're going to calm down and sit back down. Or if it's going to be something that keeps setting off different volcanoes.
This is something, it's not like I've ever studied volcanoes or geology enough to know like how often this type of chain reaction eruption occurs in history, basically.
It's not about the chain reaction. It's about that they were on a certain line.
Yeah.
Right? And there are other volcanoes like Old Faithful and like the ones in Japan and in these islands and things that are on the other broad ends of this line that are not being affected because they're not on the same line. It's kind of like earthquakes. Usually it's just one line.
Yeah, if it's following
thing, but if it was big enough to piss off the cousin next door, then it would set off that chain reaction kind of thing.
So it's following like the lines of the tectonic plates, basically.
Yes, yeah, exactly. But these tectonic plates are going over oceans at this point, and they're trying to trace it back to the ice age where it broke apart in the first place. But anyway, besides that, the reason I looked it up was because they were talking about the temperature drops. And I had looked it up actually because we're having record lows right now in Waco. Like, we're in the 30s and the 20s, in December. And yeah, I understand that these northern states are gonna be like, yeah, bitch, it's December, it's wintertime. But we don't have our winter in December in Texas.
Especially not beginning of December.
It's like the late January, early February. Like Snowmageddon for us happened on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And I can remember distinctly one year it snowing on Easter. I've never in my 33 years of life had it snow near or around or on Christmas.
Oh, see, I actually do. I remember one time, and it stands out because it was one time, and it was maybe 10 years ago. And at least I don't know
Dallas.
I was gonna say I don't know if it got over
we
here or not.
We didn't get it here, and
but
I was
in Dallas,
so upset and mad that I didn't get it here
because I remember
so fucking close
when it happened. Even like my mom was like, "Guys, it's snowing. It's Christmas," and then we were just joking like, "It's a Christmas miracle."
Yeah, Becca fucking wanted it. I remember she started it last year. I wish it would snow on Christmas. And then she made a comment like, I'm going to ask Santa for snow on Christmas. And I was like, well, here we fucking go. I guess we need to sit down and have this talk because it's Texas. And I'm going to fuck my baby's life up. But yeah, so I mean, I think at that point, Becca was like 1. No, she wasn't even a year old yet when it snowed in Dallas.
Okay, so because
it was such a big deal that it snowed in Dallas that we heard about it in Waco.
So you remember, like, you knew it happened even though you weren't.
It was like, haha, guess what?
Not
Dallas got some, but sit down. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, it'd be cool to get some snow. If we need a volcano to... No, I'm just playing. That's fucked up. Don't wish volcanoes for snow. But that would be cool if we got some snow.
You're gonna be thinking, oh, it's happening. It's happening. You go out, you stick your tongue out, and it's ash.
No, Lord, no. I don't think we got a volcano near us that would do... Besides Old Faithful. That's the only one. I always remember Old Faithful because... I've always did that research when I was in elementary school that said if Old Faithful went off,
that's the one that's going to wipe out a chunk.
It would give us a nuclear winter type shit in the U.S. And I was like, no, Lord, no. So that's the only one I know about that, actually could do us a snowstorm of ash. But with the cold temperatures and stuff coming up, Japan actually... I'm so proud of Japan. Every time I hear about these, like... amazing science experiments, Japan.
It's usually Japan.
It's always Japan. When you think about something really fucking cool, or you see those videos that says like Japan is living in the future, they really are.
They, as a society, they make their rules based off of like what would actually be good for
the people,
us, for everybody,
the humans.
For living in. If you live in Japan, what would make living in Japan better?
Yeah,
and they tend to actually follow through with those. With making those plans go through, and that's why they have.
Well, they don't have all the red tape that we put up that fucks people up with this shit.
No, they're also a very weird. They have their own. They're a weird culture in a lot of ways, but just as far as scientific advancements,
far as the education system, the environmental system, and the scientific discovery system, they are number one in all.
I have a lot of respect for the way they do things.
And so the reason I brought all that up is to say that everybody's talking about the homeless situation we have here in the U.S. and how horrible it is, and putting these people in encampments and things like that. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, Japan is making these solar-powered heaters for park benches and bus stops and places that they know that these homeless people are going to be, I say, residing in. Like if they're sleeping under this bridge, or if they have a place that is just normally known for them to spend the night or spend a lot of time at in this cold, they're making these heaters. They're
actually showing that they care about people.
Yeah.
By like it doesn't benefit. There's not going to get a return on investment for it, and it is going to be a. It's not hard to maintain, but it is definitely an initial investment to get all these things set up.
It is, yeah. It's expensive to get set up, but they're rechargeable because they're running off of solar power. Like, besides something messing up, you're really not going to have to worry about it.
They're definitely making their public places a lot more friendly for if there is a random homeless person to just find a spot to be comfortable. And as opposed to like what you mentioned, what we do, we make the benches with the spikes and where you're going to put a handrail in the middle of it so you can't sleep on it or something. You can't
sleep on the bench, man.
But they're like, well, what's the point of that? If there's somebody out here, let's let them be comfortable at least.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're not trying to break into your house because they can go get to the fucking heater.
Yeah.
It's crazy because they look awesome too. They look like where the so let's say our typical park bench, right? You have like two sides, and that's where the handrails are. These are the heaters. These are these like big circular things that go down and they light up super fucking bright. So they're not even having to use the lights that they were using before to light up the area. They're using these heaters that are so light, they're they're kind of doing a dual, job there.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so cool, and I just commend them for that. That's what I got for the world news.
Their trains are also really cool. Like they have the trains that actually hang from instead of going on the rail on the bottom, the rail's on the top.
I can't. Okay, sorry for my dog, guys. I can't think about trains in Asian countries without thinking about Train to Busan. I can't fucking do it. I can't do it, and I love it, but they are the picture that we're shown is. Have you seen those things where they're pushing the people into the subways? Where they're so packed that they are essentially cramming the people in there and shutting the doors for them.
I have not seen that.
You need to look up these videos. Like, that's how serious Japan is about this fucking time on these trains. About
being efficient.
They're like, get the fuck in and let's go.
Yeah.
Kind of to bring that back from overseas, I don't know about you guys, but I am an avid Temu shopper when it comes to Christmas.
We have a ton of stuff. We have to Christmas shop starting November because as my wife Herman, it's coming from China.
It's coming from China.
We can't wait. We gotta get this shit soon.
Yes. And I don't mind waiting an extra 2 weeks if I got it. Because it's some really cool shit. I wish my husband wasn't home right now so I could tell you the cool shit I got him for Christmas. But I liked it. It was shit that I love. And Shein is pretty awesome too. They do have a way longer wait when it comes to Shein versus Temu. But Shein has a bunch of matching outfits. Like if I want the crew to match, if I want to match with my daughter and be able to get my size and her size, I go to Shein.
That's what we do too. Every Christmas, the five of us, we all wear the same theme.
Yes.
Like one year it was Toy Story 4. One year last year it was I think we did Demon Slayer, and then every year we've done some type of different theme. This year I think we're gonna do K-pop Demon Hunter. Ooh. But yeah, we've got from Shein. We got all of our shirts from there for that reason.
That's awesome. We're doing. We usually do pajamas. I know I've always liked doing pajamas because I like being comfy on Christmas, especially when I'm traveling. We travel just like y'all travel, and we usually do PJs, and I found a Stranger Thing PJs and got it for Becca. And I'm super hyped about it because that's like our new obsession, Stranger Things. Mine's always been Stranger Things, but she's jumped on the bandwagon, and we rewatched the entire thing for her. Okay. So she's a hardcore fan now for sure. Anyway, they're facing these lawsuits right now going on, and they're saying that they're counterfeiting. And essentially the reason they're saying that is because they're saying that these are American products. But what happened was when Donald Trump announced all these tariffs that were going to go in place on this said date, right? These people are fucking smart, okay? You're not talking bad. Like, when they explained why these people were being sued, it was kind of like when they explained the Martha Stewart situation. Like, hey, somebody's going to go take all your money. And Martha Stewart was like, yeah, let me fucking move it. Yeah. And then she went to jail for moving it, but guess what? She did her time and she had her fucking money. Okay? And at the end of the day, they were like, we're going to start doing tariffs on imports from Temu and Shein, which are the two biggest ones that the Americans are using right now, on this date. And Temu and Shein were like, send everything.
Get all of our shit
all
over
the
there
shit
right now.
that is normally fucking ordered, send that shit before this date. Which to me makes total fucking sense. That's exactly what I would have.
If you're being told starting this date you have to pay extra, right? Well, I want to get as much done before that date as possible.
Exactly. So I don't have to pay my fucking extra. Well, now they're trying to say, and because they're able to store these things in these shipment containers or these manufacturing buildings, these factory buildings that they've had, storage units and stuff, it's causing an uprising in politicians trying to find a fucking reason at this point.
Because they're basically saying that
you need to pay taxes on all this shit.
But they're trying to make them pay current.
Correct.
Yeah, taxes as if they were barely shipped here.
Correct.
Even because they are imports.
They are imports.
But they
were done before this date.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit. And I feel like that was the most gangster shit that Temu and Shein could have done. And I commend them for it. And I hope that they win and they don't have to pay this shit.
Well, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we're still paying that shipping.
I was going to say then, because if they enforce that tariff like if they make the tariffs go onto those as well, that just means the people buying it is going to be paying extra for it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
We're going to get in these tags that say, oh, you owe us this.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Fuck that. But so New York right now, speaking of counterfeit and horrible laws going into effect, for the people listening, I don't know where you're living at or whatever, but Texas for sure is a quote unquote, big quotes on this, y'all, no gambling state. Okay. Even though we have the Texas lottery, and even though you can go into any corner store you see and see these slot machines that grandpa's been sitting at for the last 7 days spending his whole social security check. We don't have casinos in Texas. The only places that I know about are Indian reservations, Oklahoma, and Vegas. That's about, and in Oklahoma they have to be on the reservation side of it. Yeah. Same thing with like North Carolina and things like that. You can go to these Indian reservations that are within the country and still gamble unless it's Vegas. Well, now New York is trying to get in on it. Back in the 90s, Hugh Hefner was trying to make a casino in New York, and he went through hell and back and never got it. So he ended up kind of going into the horse racing game instead and making it a club. Okay. Which was essentially same shit.
But that's another, you didn't mention horse racing, but that's also a form of gambling. Right. It's allowed everywhere.
It's still gambling. Yeah. 1000%. The same thing with these football pots and all these other things that people do all the time. Hell, we have DraftKings now that you can do online.
Okay, so that's, I was about to say that there's like a football pot is a thing that's different because there's not necessarily like a house. That's just a group of individuals coming together.
That is true.
But you can gamble online just in certain ways. Right. With DraftKings. Like you can gamble on players' performance. Right. But you can't necessarily gamble on who's going to win the game.
There are online things now that are technically based in Vegas, but that you can download anywhere and play it online now.
Yeah. And even though
I'm still in Texas playing the game and gambling my money, but since the server's in Vegas,
they cover that in some ways. Like you can gamble on there in the sense of like I can bet on if I think there is going to be over or under in yardage or in scores or things like that. But I can't still straight up bet on who I think is going to win the game.
Which is dumb.
It is dumb. But it's because it lets you to bet. You're still gambling, but you can only gamble part of like halfway.
The reason they do that though is because there's so much of an easier payout betting on which team is going to win. You got a 50-50 chance. Well, no. Betting on whether somebody's going to have a different yardage per game than they had the last one. There's a different chance percentage.
No, I mean, they got it set up to where it's going to be, they have it in their favor either way because it's not necessary. There's never a straight up 50-50. The odds are always like, you know.
Beat them by 5.
Better. Or even so, if you bet, it's always set up to be like, if you bet $1, you win 95 cents as opposed to, that way it's they're going to
get their cut. Yeah. Yeah. And they're trying to make these casinos in New York, and they're acting like the world is ending and trying to get them not to be able to do this.
So right now there is a push to change the law though to make
they have to. Oh yeah. They would have to change the law in that state for them to be able to put these actual casinos in there. And there are 3 different major casinos trying to go in there that are all 3 in Las Vegas right now. Is
this is this going to be going to a vote at all? You know,
I don't know if it'll even make it to the vote. Honestly, but with the revenue that's coming in, I'm pretty sure it's going to get pushed before the vote even comes time.
The people that own the Dallas Mavericks right now have been trying to do the same type of thing in Texas. They're trying to get gambling legalized in Texas. The reason they bought the Mavericks is because they wanted to turn them into like their cornerstone of the stadium being inside of the casino.
Yeah, and I heard about that. My biggest thing with it is that we don't pay state taxes right now. And I feel like if gambling does technically become legal in Texas, that's going to be the big thing that comes out of it. And I'm hoping not because of the revenue that it would bring. But I think at the end of the day, it's going to be okay, we can do this or this. And that's how they're going to make it legal. You know what I mean? Anyway, give New York their damn... If they want to spend all their money and ruin their state... New York, from what I understand, New York is pretty fucking gross anyway. Go ahead. Do what you want. I don't think we should have one in Texas. If I was in New York, I would vote not to have one in New York. Because honestly, gambling is one of the most contagious and hard to quit drugs that there are. It really is a thing.
Yeah, I'm very torn on the idea of it itself because on the one hand, I'm like... the same reason I kind of think drugs should be legal to begin with.
Yeah.
I kind of think that gambling should be legal, but I think that it's a bad thing. It's a thing that people don't know how to.
At least when you do drugs, you get your high that's guaranteed that you know is coming.
Oh, I mean, you get a high one way or the other when you're gambling. It's just whether.
But I know that when I spend my $40, I spend my $40. Gambling, it's like
the problem is when
you're fucking up your entire.
The biggest problem is people that don't know how to calculate risk, which is usually 18 to 25-year-olds that then are gambling, like chasing their losses, and they don't understand like the idea
that
of
the entire thing is made for you to lose.
Yeah,
that's the part that nobody gets.
Because there's
gambling
a handful
to go
of people,
gamble for fun every occasional weekend a year is something different than the problem. It's the same thing with drug use. Drug use is I'm that bitch. Okay, if you want to do some stupid shit every once in a while when you're having a good week and you ain't got no responsibilities, kids or nothing like that, you do what you want to do. All right.
Yeah.
But that's where the addiction comes in.
Yeah.
There's those people who can do that, who can go to Vegas on a once a year trip and go crazy and come home and know that their mortgage and shit is paid. And then there's people who can't, and they go there and then they realize they can't, and then they're not leaving.
With gambling, there's also the extra aspect that there are people that it is math. If you're smart enough, you can game the system. You can find your advantages, and you can become a professional.
Everybody thinks they're that.
But that's
smart.
the thing. Everybody thinks that they are, and you look at a handful of people who make money they are professional gamblers,
right?
And for every one of those, there's thousands of people that
losing all their fucking money. Yeah.
And a 20-year-old though, they're not thinking of it that way. They're just looking at, oh, well, that guy does it. I can do it
too.
Yeah.
I can do anything. Yeah. I'm just wondering if in the casinos they're going to be allowed to use whatever bathroom they want at this point. A lot of laws went into effect for Texas. Bringing it back to the state. We already knew this kind of was coming. Conservative Republican state. So now there's a law that actually says in any public facility you need to use the bathroom that you were the sex that you were assigned at gender when you were born. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of words wrong there. But if you were born a boy or a girl, that's the bathroom that you're supposed to be using.
People say that, but yet I have seen some very, very masculine trans men that if you see that man walking into a women's bathroom because they were born a girl, people are going to have a problem with that. Those same people that tell you go to the bathroom where your private parts are.
If you were born a girl and then you went and got jacked up at the fucking gym and took your testosterone and had your fucking surgery and got your prosthetic dick.
Even you didn't have your surgery, but you present as a man in all other ways.
There are some men, just like there are some women, that they look like men. They look like women.
There's some very masculine trans men out there.
Right, and there's some very feminine ass fucking like trans men out there, like, or women. I'm sorry, guys. Don't make me politically correct. I have nothing wrong with it. I'm ignorant.
You would say a trans man started girl, became man.
Okay.
Trans woman started boy. Like that's how
started man, became woman.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, the vice versa of each of those going into a bathroom.
Yeah. So if
they've gone through this journey.
So if there's somebody that looks like
what
me,
your paper says.
There's somebody that looks like me walking into a women's restroom
that my 9-year-old daughter is in.
Exactly.
I have a problem now.
That's when
you're like, no, I was born a girl.
The law told me that. And honestly, that's the person they're doing it's the people who's forcing this shit on it. It's the problem.
So now I got because another point of that is that a lot of the times when these people are choosing to make the transition into a different sex, they are caring enough about their bodies to make sure that they are presenting in the way that they want to be conceived.
Right, because they don't want
the women that are becoming these men, and they are taking the right testosterone and taking the the things that they need to make these journeys, and then they're buff as shit and they're coming in there like stacked as hell, and they're usually on the taller end or something like that. Now I gotta worry about having to whoop your ass if you are doing some ill-intent shit that you're not fucking doing because of a stupid law. Now I feel uncomfortable. My daughter feels uncomfortable. You feel fucking uncomfortable. Go in the other fucking bathroom. I'm not snitching. If you need to go take a leak, babe.
And that exact situation, a couple weeks ago, I don't remember which state it was in, but the police got called to somebody because they were going into the restroom, they were were legally supposed to assigned at birth, but they didn't look like they look like a man because they're living as a man now.
Right, and for the people,
and it's like I feel bad for that person because it's like, well, what the fuck you want me to do? Y'all are telling me that it's against the law. I have to go to the women's restroom. Right. So now I'm going to the women's restroom, and now I'm getting shit here too.
Well, and then on the opposite side of that, these men who have gone through the journey and become women. Now they're super fucking uncomfortable because God knows what's going on in the men's restroom when you're trying to go in there and do your fucking business. Now they're going to make some kind of comment. They're going to make you feel fucking uncomfortable. They might not feel uncomfortable because they're fucking creeps, but you're going to feel fucking uncomfortable and you're going to be worried about your fucking well-being. Absolutely.
Like if a trans woman now is in the men's restroom, especially if it's one that you can't tell, like, doesn't look trans. If they look like, there are several that look like any other woman.
Right.
That person going into the men's restroom,
especially with their body type,
cannot feel comfortable with a bunch of men in there.
Anyway, we got your back, guys. I don't care which bathroom you use. Just do the one that makes you feel comfortable.
That's why it shouldn't be a fucking law. There's no reason to make a law to begin with. It's pretty self-governing. People are going to go into the restroom they feel comfortable.
The reason that they say this, and I believe this to be true, and I will give the government horrible credit on this, is you know how it is for teachers or any other person like a daycare facility, anybody who's had to be in charge of kids, and they say the bad apple spoils a whole bunch. And that's really what happened in this case. These men, these creepy ass, gross ass men, are going into little girls' bathrooms and trying to use this trans thing as something that it is not purposely for, and ruining.
I don't know how often that is even happening. I've never heard. I saw
a bunch of videos.
I haven't heard a story of any people that were not trans that were trying to use.
No, they weren't trans.
I know. Yeah,
they were using it as.
I know that's what you're saying, but I'm saying I hadn't at least seen a lot of stories of that happening. It seemed to me like this could happen. Right. So let's now.
Well, it was happening. It was happening all over the world, but we're the only ones that are making it this big of a deal. Whereas I think that person who was doing them horrible things should just be brought out back and beaten with a fucking stick. A lot
of places in the world, restrooms are just unisex anyway.
That's my biggest thing, and I think that a lot of this could be squashed with a unisex bathroom that has one toilet and a fucking lock.
And if you're in a place where it's too big, where you can't have single restrooms, right? Then. Again, I really feel like at that place you even need even less because there's a lot of people in those restrooms at the same time usually, and people are gonna go. It's good. Again, it's the self-governing aspect. People are gonna go where they feel comfortable, like, in general. Exactly. And if it's, I don't know, if it's normal for it to be unisex and nobody would even
be questioning it.
Yeah. Yeah. It just would be a non-issue at all. It goes
back to also just looking out for each other, man. If you see some shady shit, just fucking end that shit, man. If you see somebody being weird with a fucking kid, stand up for that kid. At the end of the day, that's all it comes down to for me. You know? But that's the bathroom mess going on. The entertainment industry, I'm gonna put a pin in Cardi B, because every time I try to go talk about her, 2 hours later the story has evolved and changed.
For us here, it's been a while though, so we haven't talked about her in a while.
Okay, I'll touch on it. So they have had their baby. Cardi and Stefan Diggs had their baby. There are 3 other women who are pregnant right now with Stefan Diggs' child as well. This has all seemed... Now, you got to remember that the relationship between Cardi B and Stefan Diggs is fairly new. Yeah. Okay? And this could have happened before him and Cardi B started smashing. All right? Or before they technically made it official. We'll put it that way. Because I feel like they were probably smashing a little before they made it official and let us know. But he's got 3 other babies on the way. Now, keep in mind, he already had 2 previous children from a previous relationship. And Cardi B really can't talk too much shit, because she had 3 babies with Offset, too. Sure. But from public standpoint, Stefan is still treating her like a queen. He's still being the man that he needs to be since he's been in this relationship, right? But Cardi B is still Cardi B.
I don't know. Matt seems a little off to me. She's had her baby. Others are pregnant now.
What, Cardi?
Yeah, if her baby's his. Yeah. And she's had it. You're saying?
That's what I'm saying. But she was. I'm not trying to fuck up timelines and get caught up by Cardi B, but please God, if it ever happens, call me by name, girl. They were fucking long before they were together.
Yeah.
The whole thing with Offset and the reason why they broke up is because she was fucking Stephon Diggs. So she was pregnant before they became official. So these other chicks, they're pregnant too, like about to pop. It's not like, oh, they're just now pregnant. It's just these people are now being found out that they're pregnant.
This is more that they
were trying to hide all
they
these
weren't
bitches
public
being
all the
pregnant.
way.
Yeah, exactly. And Offset, sit the fuck down and quit talking shit on Twitter, first of all. You gangsta. Okay, good job, buddy. You lost it. Go find another one. Go get you another one. He is on some like, Cardi B is coming back to me. She's the love of my life. That's my baby mama. And we get it. You're in love with your baby mama. That happens. But you dug her out, man. You dogged her out in front of the entire world. And she told you to fuck off. That's what it was. Offset cheated on Cardi B. Cardi B made a whole album about it. Then he tried to act heartbroken because she went and started fucking Stephon Diggs. And now she's pregnant with Stephon Diggs' baby. And now they're together and they're married and they're trying to move on and have their life. And Offset won't shut the fuck up.
His Twitter feed is really cringy to me. And then like there was that, I think you had sent me one post like where he was holding up some other girl in a mirror.
Yes.
And it seemed like almost like with the timing of it too, like it was a pure reaction to Cardi and Stephon.
Amen. Yeah. Like, and it looked like they were doing the same poses.
It's like, come on, bro, just let it go.
He's like that bitter baby daddy you gotta fucking move away from.
Like if he just never said anything about it at all, he'd come off looking a lot better.
Way better. Yeah. There was some drama that she moved out of Diggs' place. That Cardi moved out.
Okay.
But I'm thinking she's already back in. That's what I'm saying, man.
That's why you're...
She's loud and she's proud and she don't give a fuck who knows, but she's gonna do what the fuck she wants.
Yeah.
And I love her for that. I always have. And I feel like...
It also makes updating chaotic, though.
It's so hard to keep up with, babe. Just give me an official statement. Come on here. But yeah, I just... Trying to set the record straight is annoying. Once it dies down, I'll be able to give y'all full story again and be able to fact check everything.
All right.
With Offset tweeting all this fucked up shit and then immediately removing it before I can even get to the new update.
So you didn't even get to get screenshots from this week.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to can't keep up. But yeah, her new album's out, so go look at it. Help her pay these bills. Help her pay for these babies, because even with all the drama, I'm still jamming. I'm still shaking my ass in the car. It's still good shit. If you're looking for your stripper song, it's on there for sure.
My wife actually, Brenda, she likes listening. Anytime she's heard Cardi B songs, she likes them. But then she's like, I can never listen to them because the kids are always fucking around. And we listen. And like there's a lot of rap, a lot of music that we listen to that maybe that obviously is not appropriate for the kids.
For sure.
But her stuff is like I can't put that on.
I can't put WAP on with my baby in the car.
It's just nonsense.
I can't let my baby see how into WAP I can't sit here and like, no, while my baby's in the back seat, because as soon as I turn around, baby's like, I'm gonna lose my shit. Like I can't do it. We're gonna have to wait till you're way older to do the.
And that sucks too, because that's a fun sound. Like I want my if there's only a way to get the kids to only have the part, just
right, with not knowing where it comes from, just start stemming it randomly and saying So with the new album's coming out. I've been looking up new album releases. I've been into it a lot lately because I don't really listen to the radio that much. When I do, I listen to older, like 101.3. It's like the oldie station here. It covers like everything from the 60s to the 90s, and I love it. But
I'm more of an app music listener now.
I am too. Spotify's always been my shit, but so I've been going on there and looking at new releases and things like that. And I came across Lily Allen's new album, and so anybody who doesn't know who Lily Allen is, and I didn't, I only knew her from that one song called Smile. It was a really good song. Anyway, I don't want to start singing it, but so she is actually married to David Harbour, which is Hops in Stranger Things. He's the sheriff guy. He's like one of the few adults that's actually on there that's a big name.
Yeah.
So everything started coming out with Stranger Things, and she dropped this album 3 days after the release of season 5. Okay, which in my eyes, before we get into the story, you'll understand more why. But that is the biggest gangster move in the world too. So it drops. David Harbour's already got this thing going on with Millie Bobby Bon Jovi, right? And we found out that was all a hoax, and that was kind of like a publicity stunt, which I think was partly to hide this. But this entire album that she made called West End Girl is about...
I didn't even make that connection, but you're probably right.
They
could have been planned like, hey, let's do this, so then that way somebody else might dismiss this other news story too.
Right? Yeah. So Lily Allen is a songwriter. She's been a musician for a really long time. I think her last album came out in like 2015, so it's been a minute since she actually had something new come out. This entire West End Girl album is about her husband cheating on her. Apparently, they had an arrangement when they were together, when they were actually married, that he could go fuck other girls, but they had to be a stranger, and it had to be transactional. So he had to pay for it. She didn't want no emotions tied to it.
Okay.
She was like, you go, you get your dick wet, we're done. Well, of course, you give them an inch, they take a mile. And that's with any scenario like this. David,
he did not respect the open relationship boundaries.
Started having relations with this chick named Melissa. And I don't know if her real name is Melissa, but in one of the songs,
we're using Melissa
for the song.
Okay.
And yeah, they started actually liking each other. Blah, blah, blah. I love you more than my wife. My wife's a bitch. Blah, blah, blah. That whole shebang. And now they're getting a divorce. And she's kicking him the fuck out. And good job, girl. And
she's got a whole album about it.
A whole album that just dropped. One more time, West End Girl. Go check it out. If you're going through some shit, yeah. Okay. Because as soon as I heard about it, I was like, let me see if it's even worth like.
And it's got
some bangers.
It's got replay value for you.
I think so.
Okay.
You have to be in that headspace though. So if you're going through a breakup, if you're going through some trauma, if your man ain't treating you right, put this shit on in the car and have a good time and blast that shit.
What the fuck Skylar do?
No, man, it's just a banger. It wasn't, I love him. He would never.
He's hearing the music playing though. He's just like, shit.
He's like, oh my god, what does she know?
She's in one of those moods. What does she know?
What does she know? No. Yeah, but just check it out. Lily Allen's got a good album.
That's very petty, but also very strategic, very smart self-marketing right there. Right. It's just like,
She's gotta pay for this shit.
Everybody, you guys love this guy. You love the character he plays. Well, he's a real shitty person. Let me tell you about it.
The shit on the album, it gets a lot deeper than that too. I don't want to get too dark about it, but she's got some kids, and I'm not sure if they're David Harbour's kids with her or if she had them from a previous marriage, but they have disabilities. I forget what the disease is called, but it's like... it makes it where their voice box like deteriorates. Okay. And then it becomes hard for them to breathe and talk and things like that. Like it is a serious condition. And she does mention that in the album, like while she's over here trying to take care of their entire family. So the drop, I don't think on her part anyway, was a coincidence. We got to make this money. We need this publicity. We need people to actually know who the fuck I am and about this album. You know what I mean? I would have. I think any woman in that vengeful mindset would have too.
Not even if take the vengeful part out of it. If it's just smart business,
it's good money. Yeah. Speaking of money, NASA is offering a $3 million prize or reward, and it has been announced officially on their website. You can go check that out. Of anyone that can figure out how to recycle or lessen the trash in space that we are causing, pretty much, with these space travels and these rockets going off and stuff. I know Elon Musk is trying to do the reusable rocket where he can actually do it more than one time. So
this is where we're going to put our brains together and we're going to get this $3 million.
I'm trying, man. I'm sitting there like,
It sounds like because they're trying to clear up space debris, right?
Yeah.
Or
no, either the space debris or the debris that we're causing, like our pieces of rockets.
At this point, space debris, to me, is all the satellites that are flying, or all of our junk. What about a giant magnet?
See, you're saying magnet, and I was thinking vacuum.
Okay,
if we put them together, this has been copyrighted. Please do not.
We're already working on this. Actually, we're building.
Get partial credit.
I'm looking at the build in the backyard right now.
We're doing this. I see it.
Half vacuum, other side magnet, so the vacuum actually sucks it through space. You can change the direction.
Correct. We need
suck things through it to it.
Yeah.
And then the
magnet holds it on so it doesn't go nowhere.
Turn all those little spots into one giant ball.
Yeah, and then
just
have enough gravity for it to come back down.
Or why just shoot it into the sun at that point?
No.
Melt it all down. Get rid of it.
No.
What are you worried is going to happen there?
Solar flares kill us all? In 8 minutes, we wouldn't even know if it worked. It would be 8 minutes. We'd be like,
That ball of trash would melt way before it caused the splash to the sun. I think we're fine. You're not thinking this through, Tricia. Come on.
Right. We'll work on it. Heat resistant, just long enough for it to get close enough to melt all the other trash. But and the last one I got for the science world, I think is really cool. I've always thought that lucid dreaming and astral projection is amazing. Mm-hmm. And I'll let y'all look up what all that is. But in the 50s, they started talking about lucid dreaming, and it's where you're very aware of who you are, what you're doing when you're in the dream.
Yeah, that's a very different thing than astral projection, because lucid dreaming is just purely in your
body.
head.
Yeah, lucid dreaming is all in your head, and astral body projection is when you're out in the real world. Well, they've been doing experiments and stuff like that through. I know one of them is Oxford University. I can't remember if the other one was Brown or Stanford, but it is in the U.S. And they were both working on trying to get people to communicate in their dreams. Mm-hmm. And they had to create a level of different experiments and things like that. Well, they finally found one that has been proven and works so far. And this person was given a phrase in their dream while they were asleep in headphones, that, or maybe it was right before they went to sleep. It was right before they went to sleep in the headphones, so nobody could know what it was. And they were told to say it in their dream to the other person when they saw them. Mm-hmm. And they did. And then the person on the other side of the world in a complete different country was able to wake up and say that phrase. And
I'm guessing, I'm guessing they each were wearing a bunch of neural detectors, yes. A bunch of. Were they do you know how was it a helmet type base? Do you know anything like that?
Well, no, it's like, when you go do a sleep study, okay. And they have those little scanners on your electrodes in your brain. Yeah. And it does look like it looks like some Stranger Things type shit, honestly, where you have like the little ones on your temples, you have the two in the back, you have like 1, 2, 6 or something like that. I'm
picturing like a full-blown helmet, honestly, but I don't know if it's
a helmet or if it's just cords that look like a helmet. Yeah. But there's a fuck ton of sensors. And they send these neural pathways, and they're studying it to make sure that they're asleep, to make sure that their vitals and stuff are good, and to make sure that they're not going to a sense of psychosis at the time.
And they're trying to connect people's consciousnesses
through dreams
while they're asleep.
Yeah.
From far distances.
Distances. Yes. Because it seems that the object of distance is not relevant.
As long as they have the connection set up.
As long as they have the connection. And I think they have to know each other. Mm-hmm. Something like that. You know what I mean?
Their brains have to have some familiarity.
Exactly. But I thought that was super cool, and honestly, that's what I'm looking to.
It sounds all cool until all of a sudden fucking Freddy Krueger's real. Now all of a sudden, we really can connect and get inside your brains.
You always put holes in my dreams. See, you're already fucking it up, because now I'm thinking about some sicko jumping in my brain trying to do weird shit in my dreams.
But I didn't touch you. I didn't touch your body. All I did was in your dream.
I'm gonna take Adderall. I've always thought about that when they do the fucking Freddy Krueger movies. I'm like, I can buy you 4 days.
When they get to the point of trying to stay awake or whatever.
Yeah, I'm like, go grab the pipe out in the drawer back there, whatever that is, that Drano. You get you 3 days right there if I can figure it out. Because they're only like 3 hours in falling asleep. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Have you never had to do anything when you're tired?
I always hated
Get up, move around. Why are you just sitting there still?
I hate that part, because at no point is that ever going to be a long-term solution for you.
Right.
Like,
you will sleep.
Yeah.
Or you will die. Or you will sleep then die.
Apparently in the movie you're going to do both. But
right.
Yeah.
One, two, or both is happening.
And now that's the one step closer to that being real life.
Well, the way I'm looking at it is, just...
What's the good part of this?
You remember that bitch? She's like, you're in my world now?
Uh-huh. You want to be able to...
If they come into your dream... I'm bazooka in his ass.
Yeah.
And hoping I don't blow up the world he's in. Can you just imagine me setting off a fucking, gun at you like a Tommy gun, and then you're just like, and you're across the fucking country.
No,
That's
now
insane.
I'm Matrix. I'm like the Matrix too. My body's just fucking going. Just
That's what I'm saying. I feel like if that's the case, then we should be able to have superpowers in our dreams. If you can unlock that far into your dream, you should be able to unlock any ability.
lucid
as well.
dreaming by itself. You can unlock that like
Right, that's
right
what
now.
I'm saying.
But then how do you like being now the fact that we're at now trying to be able to apply transfer like from me to you of days.
Right.
Now it's like, okay, well, let's see how deep this really
Are you coming in
goes.
just as you?
Yeah.
Or are you coming in strapped? Are you coming in with superpowers of your own, like laser vision or some shit? Just, anyway. Watch who your friends are, guys. Watch who you fall asleep around.
Watch who you connect to. I guess.
Right? Okay. I guess that leads us into DFW, man. What you got going on?
I'll start with just a quick sports note. The Cowboys have started a turnaround. It looks like they're actually somewhat decent. They're better than what I had said a few weeks ago. I still don't have I'll say they have made a bunch of player acquisitions. They made a lot of little trades before the trade deadline that I kind of dismissed that maybe I was wrong at, because since then they the defense it's not like it's great or anything, but it actually looks like a regular defense that can play.
So, to quote the NFL that I'm seeing the talk shows talk about, they're saying that the Cowboys has the best offense so far this year. Statistically, and that's the best offense in football right now.
And they've had that has been the case since the beginning of the year. I'll say that Dak has played better this year than almost every year that I've seen him play.
What was that boy's name? Pickens.
Oh, yes.
Pickens.
Getting Pickens as a second wide receiver. Dak has shown that if you give him the tools, he is a man. He can play great.
Yeah. Williams was killing it too.
He can't do it without the certain level of tools. That's probably what keeps him like below the top tier quarterbacks. It's like a Patrick Mahomes. He's gonna play great no matter who he's on his team.
Well,
but if you give him the right tools, Dak can play at the same level as the top tier quarterback.
Well, we've already seen multiple times in Cowboys Nation having a number one named quarterback doesn't get you to the Super Bowl. It's all about your team.
Yeah,
and we just saw that on Thanksgiving because they went up against Patrick Mahomes and actually won. Now the game was nuts. That was a good game.
Very entertaining game. It's one of those that I was a little bit disappointed. For me personally, I'm disappointed that game was on Thanksgiving because I can pay a lot less attention to the game, even though it's on.
Yeah.
But whenever we're there with our all the cousins and everything, I'm like halfway paying attention to the game.
Yeah.
And where I'm hearing, we have one person in the family that he's like. He's the screamer. He's the one that's like. Yeah. So I'll be paying attention kind of through him. Like what's he whatever he's.
He screams, you look.
Then I look. What's going on?
Oh, what's up?
But even before that, the last week before that was the bigger surprise for me when they were down 21-0 to the Eagles and then came back and won.
Yeah.
You put those two games back to back. It makes it feel like okay, they might actually be something. The problem still is that they got they dug themselves such a hole early on that
they have to win every.
They basically can only lose maybe one more game to still have a chance at the playoffs. And I think if Jerry Jones would have made player acquisitions, in the off season instead of waiting till mid-season, like most teams would do it in the off season, then they might actually have a chance. They might have actually had a chance to, be a really good team, and have a good chance to not need the Eagles to collapse to win the division. Unfortunately, where we are, I still think the Eagles are not going to fall in on themselves. I don't think they're going to cave in.
We beat the Eagles. We
did, but they still have a two games, 2.5 game lead on us. Yeah. So we would need them to fall apart, basically. 2 games,
right? At least, and us win every game.
If we won every game, and that's pushing it. It's even if the Cowboys finish very, very strong, they're likely to still lose one more at least.
Yeah.
This week though will be big. This week will be big. This week against the Detroit Lions. That they're another good team. And then after that, the Cowboys actually have a few weeks of playing lesser teams. So if they can win this week, they definitely. Having a chance becomes realistic, I guess.
Okay.
We'll see. At the very least, they've made it more interesting and surprised me a little bit. They made it more interesting than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it was a good game.
Before a couple of my DFW stories happen to both be animal stories. But before I get into them, I have another animal story to get into. It happened in Virginia. Police got called to a liquor store that got broken into.
Yeah.
And they when they get in, there's liquor bottles broken, thrown around.
Somebody's broken in or something.
Something doesn't look like, the register, no cash, nobody looked to try to get into the safe or anything like that. So it looked like maybe somebody just busted in just to grab some liquor.
Right.
But not too much was missing. There's just a bunch of damage too with some stuff. And then what they did, they happened to, they found the culprit though on the scene still. A raccoon had broken in and drunk himself to pass out. It was in the restroom. Have you seen the picture?
Yes, of him sprawled out.
The picture of the raccoon is what makes the story for me, because he is laid out just full sprawl, arms, legs as wide as they could be.
I wonder how much.
I need to know how much did that raccoon get. And this is like the second story I've heard. The other one was maybe a year ago or so about a national headline of raccoons with alcohol, because the other one was
he was walking down the street, right?
They thought that they had rabies.
And they were drunk.
And they were drunk. So
Yeah.
So this is the second time. Apparently raccoons like to get down. They like to drink. And
you know how they used to have dogs drinking beer? And raccoons got to get fucked up too, man.
I feel bad for that raccoon too, because it got in there. It's all fucked up. And it's being woken up.
From fucking cops.
Not even getting to sleep it off. It's being woken up, not with a hangover, still drunk, just like getting picked up by the cops. Like, you got to get out of here, man. All right, I'm going.
He's that dude that's on the park bench that just got from the club and didn't make it home, and he's getting woken up with the flashlight in his face. Have you been drinking tonight, sir? He's like,
just a little. I had a couple.
I swear to God, I swear to Bob, I'm not God.
Man, I like I said though, whenever I saw that picture, I just could not stop laughing.
Hilarious.
That raccoon went hard. In Cooks County, it was a bison found dead, and there's actually a reward, a $3,000 reward for anybody that can give information on who killed this bison.
Okay.
The thing about it though is it was beheaded.
So was it like chainsaw chopped off, or was it like some samurai sword clean cut chopped off? Do we know?
You know what? I don't think it didn't mention that. It didn't mention how clean the cut was.
We're trying to figure out who the fuck did it. I need to know what they were working with.
Well, see, if they tell you that, then that's going to lead to you being able to give a fake tip.
I don't want a fake tip. I need clues. If I'm going to detective mode this shit,
you need to know if you're going after people with swords or if you're going out people with.
I need to ethnically racial profile people, and I need to know if it was Billy Bob or if it was Jackie.
My first thought was RFK back into the game?
Oh my God!
I don't know if you remember he talks about like fucking moving a dead bear into the New York City Park, and then he's talked about cutting off a head of a whale.
Jesus!
So I'm like, is Kennedy's over here cutting off fucking bison heads now?
Nah, not the bison. What did bison do? What did he do to you? That's what I want to know.
You know what? Somebody wanted to have a fucking stuffed bison head, but mounted on their, and they just went the easy way.
This is what he wants for Christmas.
They said, "This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna
go get this
go out there.
Head. Don't ask no questions. Just get in."
There was a gunshot. There was a gunshot wound, and so they shot the bison first. Hopefully that shot killed the bison. Hopefully that bison.
I feel like it had to for you to get close enough to chop his head off.
Or depending.
One fell swoop is not going to do it with a fucking bison usually. Unless it was something, you know what I mean, big and sharp enough to get through it.
Or even, I wouldn't. That's what I wouldn't expect it to have been one fell swoop. I'm hoping though that the shot killed it and not just made it lay there and take a couple of hits.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, there's no at this point there's no other theories on it. So that's my own personal theory that the only reason they did it is somebody had to have a mount.
My only other question is, was this like a wild bison or was this someone's like on a reserve
I tried, whenever I read through the story, I did not see anything.
If there's a reward, it's probably like on a reserve or something, like on a park reserve, wildlife reserve or something.
Yeah, it doesn't say any. I'll just double checking the story right now, and it just says that it was unlawfully shot and killed on property.
Yeah, so
on a property.
On property. So yeah, he had.
So then, but it doesn't necessarily say that like this was an owned bison or anything.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm not really sure about that part of it, because I thought the same thing. Like, is this somebody's cattle that then
if it was a wild bison, then I don't think it would have been near as big of a deal. You know,
well,
as far as law wise.
It may not have been near big of a deal law wise, but it would have caught my attention of just somebody beheaded a wild bison.
Yeah, just out here beheading bison and leaving them in the forest.
Just imagine just walking up and just seeing that shit. Like, what the fuck?
That's nuts, man. I wonder if it was a hate crime.
And then hate crime. Is that
like, you know how they say, like, they would kill people's cattle and things like that to, like, red
okay, so you mean like hating on the owner of the property,
right,
not...
And then, yeah, not the bison. I fucking hate bison.
Like, man, fuck bison.
You know what I hate? Fucking bison.
All big and shit. Fuck them.
Overgrown cattle ass motherfucker.
That's what I thought you were saying.
You think you're better than me?
Oh, and then the last little animal story we got here in the DFW is... You got to watch out for geese. If you feed ducks, if you've ever fed, I've taken my kids to feed ducks when they were smaller. I used to do it a ton when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. You ever feed ducks and then you have that random goose that comes around? Those motherfuckers are not chill.
They're not chill, guys.
They will come at you. Well, apparently this one lady, this old lady, found out the hard way. Let me get her exact age so I can give you the detail on it.
No.
She was out feeding ducks, a 72-year-old woman, and in Roy City.
She's just trying to enjoy her old life.
And this did not have a goose come after her. She had a horde of geese come after her and start surrounding her.
Oh my god!
And if you see again, these guys are big. Like, they can be up to like my hip or higher.
Yeah.
So an older woman, like, probably going to be, I'm assuming going to be shorter than me.
Right.
And I'm assuming going to be maybe not as steady on her feet as me as well.
You're just picturing a little hunch.
You're right. I can't.
Big glasses, and she's just trying to hand out the bread.
I'm picturing the hunch in the back too. You're right. I can't help it. But she's out there feeding the ducks and apparently gets ganged up on and not by these geese. And they're like, hey, this is our hood. Throw us some food. And I don't know if she did and they got mad because she didn't have enough, or if she just didn't do it at all. But either way,
she didn't do it. She probably had that food on her.
When she was trying to get away, they kept on like they followed her, they kept attacking her, and they bumping into her, and they knocked her down, and she broke a hip. She got fucked up. Like, she straight up broke a hip and is in a trauma center right now.
And this is why y'all don't get shit. This is why nobody likes geese.
Exactly.
Y'all are assholes and y'all fuck with old ladies trying to feed y'all.
Whenever it reminded me, whenever we like to go to this place, Deer Lake Cabins in East Texas every now and then for a little weekend getaway.
Yeah.
And they have this really big property. They have a couple different ponds or mini lakes. And on one of them, there's a family of geese there, and you can ride around. We like to rent 4-wheelers because you can then ride around their property. And every single time you pass by there, though, these geese will fucking hump.
They're coming for you,
and they gotta be used to people. Like, year round, people are there.
Well,
year round, people are riding on.
They have gotten used to it. They know that you're not gonna fucking run them down.
But they feel definitely confident enough to chase you down every single time we go there. They'll be coming up.
Hell no. That's terrifying.
And I never thought much of it, but now that I'm seeing this story, I'm gonna think a little bit of like, maybe watch your geese.
Birds are like that though, man. I'll put birds in that category. They have no fucking fear. Well, I don't know. I've told this story before, I think, where I was chased by a chicken when I was little. Nana was in the backyard and she fucking rang a chicken's head, and the head fell off, and the chicken kept running for a little bit. Well, chickens don't have heads and they follow vibrations. Yeah. So she literally was like, "Do not fucking run." And then I ran. And if it was able to follow, it followed me for the vibrations and scared the shit out of me. And it wasn't even that far, but in my little brain, my little kid mind, I was getting chased by a headless chicken for miles.
If you're a kid and a headless chicken takes a step towards you, that's enough.
It's over. I was terrified for life.
Like, no, that's supposed to be dead. Its head is gone.
I saw you kill it, and now it's running. This is a zombie chicken at this point.
And it's running towards me.
And it's coming for me in my brains. I'm not okay with it.
I don't know if I've heard that story. I don't remember if you've ever said it recording or not.
Well, but there you go. and then there was another moment, and I'm sure this stems from my childhood trauma already, but we went to the beach and they have these huge fucking seagulls at the beach we go to, because we go to like this wildlife reserve beach so that it's less crowded and we can just kind of drive onto the beach and enjoy ourselves. And so when we do that, there's no like vendors out there or anything like that, so we always pack a little picnic, which is just some sandwiches, some chips, some sodas, and water. We get out there and my daughter's like, I'm gonna go get a sandwich, and I'm like, all right, cool, baby, go get a sandwich, not thinking about life. Okay, all of a sudden I'm like already coming in, thank God, from the water to follow her, and she's like, mama, and I'll look up and my baby's got a sandwich in her hand and there are 4 fucking seagulls like arr, arr, like dive on them for my child, and I'm like, Becca, get in the car, put the fucking sandwich down, throw the sandwich, I don't care. Fuck the sandwich. She's throwing the whole fucking sandwich, and these things are just like trying to get my baby. And they didn't want her. They didn't have shit to do with her. They just wanted the sandwich. And they're so used to people going and having food at the beach that they know as soon as the food comes out, it's time to shine. Yeah. And they come in gangs. They don't come one motherfucker trying to, oh, can I get a sandwich? No. They're like, get her, diver. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because there are dumbass people who will throw pieces of fucking sandwich like into the air. Yeah. And they're like, oh yeah, that's how we get food. No, fuck you for doing that shit. Anybody who does that on the beach, stop doing that shit. They're dive bombing my 7-year-old at the time. Leave her alone. But yeah, that was birds. This
these geese that are in this story, I didn't even say this part. They kept fucking pecking her when she was down.
Yeah, she's like, probably traumatized.
This old lady was down on the ground with a broken hip at this point, and they just kept fucking going at her. They didn't stop attacking her. Imagine
this old lady trying to crawl away from these fucking geese mauling her.
It's funny,
like dogs.
It's it's not funny, but it is funny too. To me, to imagine the fact that she's already down, right, and they're still just like stomping her,
stomping her shit. Yeah, fuck you, curb check, bitch, curb check.
Next time you don't come here without enough.
Yeah, that's a nice watch, bitch. That's a nice jacket, son. Son.
What you got in Waco?
Man, Waco's getting a little dark around here. The weather is a lot colder than usual. We have ice in Waco, and I don't mean like ice on the ground. I mean like we have immigration ice in Waco, and it's starting to become a thing. And me and Skylar were, I don't know, I'm having like Nazi vibes a little bit when I'm looking out at these videos that are around my old neighborhoods and things like that, and it's just really kind of fucking me up a little bit because I can't imagine walking down the street and it's like one of my biggest fears, even from when I was a child, like walking down the street and a van pulls up next to you and they're trying to pull you into a van. Yeah. And that's like a real fucking thing going on right now for kids and adults alike that are walking down the street or getting stopped for a fucking blinker being out, and now you're being like ripped out of your car and taken to a detention facility. You know, you're not even going to Highway 6 for the night and then getting out. You're there. Where the fuck did they go? You know, and it's just a real thing right now, guys. And just you know, check on your families, check on your people, love each other, and just be there for each other, because I'm just hoping we can wait this thing out as long as we can. If I had any kind of idea of how to actually fucking put an end to it, I'd do it myself. You know?
And it's tough because there's nothing. Only thing you can do is if you're lucky enough in the moment to be somewhere when it's happening, and also probably have enough of a crowd around you that will back you up if you because if it's
but even then you're going against the government, dude. You're not going against one person.
There are enough cases of them being turned away, at least in the moment, but
they'll leave it alone,
and because they know that they know that they're doing illegal shit. They're coming. They're like you said, they're coming in unmarked vans with masks, with no type of identification. Right. What's the difference between you and any random kidnapper? Right. Literally none. Like, so there's ways like you can put, but even then it's not safe. Like you're putting yourself at risk to help other people.
Well, me being the person that I am, like I'd probably just end up in the van next to them. And be like, well, I tried, buddy. You help me in Mexico, I'll help you get home. Like, I'll help you get home when we get there. You know what I mean? Wherever the fuck we're going. I got us back in if you can get us where we're going. You know? And it's just some shit that's going down. And the only thing, that's really the only bad thing we got going around. We got really cool stuff going on in Waco. The Waco Winter Wonderland just started this weekend, which is pretty cool. It's like a big, they have like a little ice rink. They got like little mini, it's kind of like a carnival, but winterized. They got like little snow tubing and ice rinks and stuff like that they made downtown.
Have y'all went? Or are you going to?
I went last year. It's alright. It's cool. It's cool. I feel like we've gone to bigger and better in different times. You know what I mean? But it is something super cool for the town, which is awesome. They have like a tree lighting ceremony with fireworks and stuff like that. That part's awesome. As far as going out there like on just a random day during the festival, I'm not really for it because it's so crowded and it's not big enough to hold the crowd. Like Waco is not like the Heart of Texas and Rodeo is on like acres, right? They should have put this Waco Wonderland on that shit. Yeah. Instead of trying to do it in a little space downtown where everybody's like crammed like sardines and you have no idea where to go or what to do. And I do think probably in the next couple of years it'll be way better because they're going to realize how big it is and they'll move it somewhere that can actually hold it.
Maybe they didn't expect to actually draw a crowd, and now
that motherfucker's huge.
And now it's like, oh shit, people are coming. Yeah,
for sure. And then we got Wienerschnitzel is supposed to be open today.
You've been hyping it up.
I've been hyping it up, man. And I know that like everybody else in the world's got a Wienerschnitzel, but we haven't had one in years. Yeah. And I need this in my life. I need this shit. I've been waiting on this pretzel dog.
If you have to deal with ice on the streets, you might as well get some Wienerschnitzel to help you stay strong with it.
Oh, look, it is. It's open.
It's open now?
I just Googled it, everybody. Wienerschnitzel is open.
It's live. It's happening.
We will be eating it tonight. It will be happening. I need my pretzel dog. I need it. I just need it. And watch when I eat it. It's probably not going to be anything I've hyped it up to be, but I need to experience it.
It's going to be warm inside for you while it's cold outside.
This is fucking gross. And I'm like, this is the best pretzel dog I've ever had in my life. Shut up. You shut up. You don't talk about it. Eat it. You eat it or you starve. No. Man, that's all I got, man. This is the weekly viral news-ish.
All right, guys. You got one life to live. You might as well enjoy it while it lasts.